Guys, what is going on? Slevtek here, and in today's episode, we have Inhawks_92 on, and we kind of get a look into what he's looking forward into the new year, how he's going to be transforming his streaming setup, and a bunch of other things. I hope you guys enjoy it. Do me a favor right now, if you haven't already, go follow my boy Inhawks over on Twitch. I'll make sure to link the rest of his social medias down below. I hope you guys enjoy today's episode, and I'll see you guys in the podcast. All right, I think we're back good. We're good to go.
Oh. Yeah, the crazy thing is too, I had somebody who actually sent me a laptop that had the capabilities to run Streamlabs.
Okay.
And I was real big into golf, and I haven't had the time or money to really play in like the last 2 years, so I actually sold my clubs to my coworker.
Mm-hmm.
And in exchange, I sold it to him for an Elgato.
Oh man, like a whole set of clubs for an Elgato.
Like a whole set of clubs for an Elgato.
Dude, that's some commitment. I think you got scammed a little bit, but just a little bit. But
yeah. But yeah. So I got the Elgato and everything. I got Streamlabs downloaded on the computer. I don't know if you're familiar with Accelerator.
Mm-mm.
He's another very, very techie guy.
Okay.
And he streams a little bit on Twitch as well.
Sure.
And but I got with him, and he actually remoted in to my computer from Holland and got all my settings straight. Sure. And then as soon as I started up the stream, well, through Streamlabs, it would go to like 100% frame skipped immediately.
Really?
So it just like it wouldn't even, like, I had the different panels and like the different overlays and everything, and it wouldn't switch anything, and just 100% frame skipped.
It's probably the computer wasn't able to output the power or whatnot necessarily.
Right. So I switched over to a different, it's OBS Studio.
Sure.
And that one, same thing with the Elgato, it wouldn't run it. Mm-hmm. So I ended up selling the Elgato.
Okay.
And yeah, big mistake there. But I sold the Elgato, and then I was sitting there, I was like, you know what? I was like, I wonder if it wasn't, if it's the computer.
Yeah.
And not, and then I was like, man, I shouldn't have sold that.
Yeah.
Because that was back in like September.
Sure.
September, October, right around there, yeah. August. Mm-hmm. And now I'm looking at getting a computer that should be able to run it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that.
Well, I actually have I used to run the Elgato HD60S, the little one that's probably what you have.
Yeah, that's the one that I bought. Yeah.
I used to have one of those, but then I upgraded to the Pro version, which like slots right into your motherboard on the computer. Mm-hmm. My buddy,
you take like your CD drive out.
Yeah, exactly. So my buddy actually has it right now, but he hasn't used it in a long time. So if I can get it from him, I'll send it to you, bro. And that way it'll save you what, like $100 bucks, something like that. 85.
Yeah, 140.
Yeah, exactly.
Just let me know what you want. I'll send you something for it.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'm a big believer in doing what I can. Like, I don't make a lot of money or anything like that. But whatever I can do for the community, I definitely want to pay it forward as well. Because there's been people in the community that have helped me out. You know what I mean? Like, just on like last podcast with Squishy Beard, I was talking about how, I don't know if you know who Bad Mama Jama is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, me and him were playing. He came into my stream when I was streaming on YouTube, and me and him got to be friendly, and we would play every so often. And he really liked my content. Then I stopped streaming for about a month because, and it was like the worst timing possible, because I had just started my transition, or I had just transitioned over to Twitch, and the first stream that I had on Twitch, my optical port went out on my PlayStation, so there was no game audio at all. And I didn't have the money at the time to buy a new PlayStation just straight up, so I needed to save for about like a month and a half. And a month went by, and I just got the bug to play Call of Duty again, I took about like 3 weeks off because like I just was fed up with everything, and then came back, and Bad messaged me like, "Hey man, let's play." So we played, and he's like, "Why aren't you streaming?" And I told him kind of what was going on. Dude, I kid you not, within 30 seconds, he was just like, "Okay." Within 30 seconds, I get a notification on my phone that $400 has been transferred to my PayPal. He said, "Do me a favor, go to Best Buy right now, grab a PlayStation. I'll see you in an hour, and let's get that stream up and running." You know, and at that moment, I was like, that is insane to me. You know, it almost brought me to tears on like somebody was just willing to give $400 to help you continue what you want to do, you know? And it really shed light into like what the community is and how we stand by each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, along the same lines, the first streamer I ever watched was Spiros,
Okay.
and the first streamer I ever subscribed to was Fluxury.
Okay.
And
He's from the UK, right? I played with him a couple
yeah,
times.
he's Scotland,
Oh, Scotland. Okay.
and my wife's a teacher, so we don't get paid in the summertime from her job.
Okay.
So it was like April, I subscribed, and then I was sitting there, I was like, hey, look, don't worry, I'll be back. Just gonna lose my membership for a couple months because every little bit in the summer counts.
Yeah.
And same thing, within about 30 seconds, Bad PayPal'd me like $40. He's like, don't lose your membership.
Yeah.
Continue to use this to continue it.
Yeah.
And it's just, that was the first time anybody's ever done something like that for me, video game related.
Right.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, that's, and I was like, dude, just, wait till September, I'll get you your money back, He's like, no, don't worry about it. He's like, I'd rather you support the guy you want to support.
Yeah.
And just keep it going.
Yeah. And I'm a huge believer in like happiness begets happiness and violence begets violence, you know? And
Right.
And Bad is such a great example of that, in that like he did it without anything or asking for anything in return. Or for me, he's never hung it over my head like, hey, you should play with me because I did this. Like he just did it out of the kindness of his heart, you know? And
Right.
And his intentions behind it were just pure, you know? There was no ulterior motive. And it's crazy that the internet can bring people like that together, you know? And you typically will weed out the unauthentic people, and their true colors will shine through eventually, you know? And what remains is a community that like genuinely cares about each other and will do. Some of some of us are more fortunate or in better positions than others, and they care about the other person so much that they're willing to help them without asking anything in return, just because you've grown close. I find it so heartwarming, not to get all sentimental on it, but that it's a platform to allow that, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's, it's, I got people that I see every day that I would consider friends, and none of them are, well, I'd say none of them. Some of them aren't as good as some of these people that I've never met before.
Right?
No, all I know is their voice.
Exactly. No, and like for me personally, I don't have a lot of like real life friends. By design, I audit my friends quite a bit. If like they're not providing like value in terms of like happiness to me, if they're causing more problems, then I kind of audit them out of my life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm right. I got like 4 people that I would actually call like
friends. Yeah.
That guy's my friend.
I've got
and
2.
I would say 2 of them are my coworkers.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. No. Exactly. Yeah. I'd say probably about 4 if I have coworkers involved too. Yeah. But I keep my inner circle very, very close. You know what I mean? Very tight. And
there's just too much drama in the world, and I don't need
exactly,
that.
Man. I'm so like drama free. Like you can even ask anybody in my like stream. I'm fully transparent. If there's ever like a situation that goes on between like me and another streamer, I will talk about it on stream and just be like, this is the one and only time I'm talking about it. This is what's happened. You take what you want from it, and then you can decide. But I'm not gonna go into this like he said, she said, behind closed doors type thing. You know what I mean? It's just I'm not into the drama. I just want to play the game and have a good time, you know. And I've found though that I've built relationships like Miss Gigglebox, for example, and like she is like my right hand girl. You know, like I love her to death. Like me and her talk on the phone like practically every day. Like it's kind of crazy that like how close I would consider her a friend, even though we've never actually met in real life. You know, and
Yeah, she was one of the first when I started streaming. She was one of the first supporters in my channel, and she's been there since
yeah,
day one. And I see her pop up, and I'm like, hey, when are you gonna hop on? When are we gonna play?
right,
Like, there's a handful of people that I will kick somebody out of the squad for,
right.
and she's one of them.
No, dude.
Like,
Ex-
hey, you gotta go, man. I gotta get this person in here
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. She's just so happy all the time.
all the
Like,
time.
always has a smile on her face, will always make you crack up, and will, like, if you're having a bad day, she will immediately turn your day so much better, you know? And I love her for it. And she's a huge staple of the community. She's my community manager. Like, she manages the Discord and everything like that. And she's done such an amazing job with that. And like she's brought you to the community, you know, and that's how I now know you. And she plays such an integral role in what we're trying to build. You know, I'm excited for the future.
It's next time you see her, ask her about her 4 times.
With the Maddox,
Yes.
she's already told me the story, bro.
Yeah, it was me, her, and somebody else, and we got like final circle, 2 teams left, and we're like, oh, they're right there on the left, they're right there on the left, and she zooms in. I'm like, oh, why do you have a 4 times on?
On like the AR that really should be an like a submachine gun.
Right, right.
I think what you hit like 50 yards out. That thing does like 2 damage per shot, if that.
Maybe for you, but for me, it's like negative damage. I take damage when I shoot it.
Or it heals them when you shoot them. They're like, sweet, I got a trauma, bro. Oh man. But so what's your highest kill game in Blackout?
Like 12.
That's not
and
bad
on
at all,
Alcatraz.
dude. That's not bad.
On Alcatraz.
Doesn't matter. Double digits, bro.
Regular Blackout, I think it's like 5 or 6.
Okay. What would you say is like your biggest struggle with Blackout and like getting kills or staying alive?
The hit marker inaccuracy.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you use a lot of different guns,
just,
or do you like hone in on one like setup?
I try to run the same guns every time. It's just the luck of the draw. You know, sometimes you don't get it. But the biggest struggle I've been having with it lately is I don't play it that often. So I'm used to the Modern Warfare movements. I get into Black Ops 4 and it feels like a brand new game.
No, it really does. Like there's a period where I would, even if you take a week off of video games in general, and you come in and try and play Call of Duty, you definitely feel rusty. Like I even feel that because there's times where I won't play like Sunday, like I'll stop streaming Saturday at like 5, and then I won't play until Monday at like 7 a.m. again. And it takes me like half the day to get back into the swing of it, you know? And that's just
Well, see, I think like, so I've been trying to split my streams up a little bit. So I'll start with Black Ops 4 because I don't want to, like, I'll start with Black Ops 4 because I know I will get frustrated. And then I'll go to Modern Warfare where I'm kind of decent. And I can end it on a good note. I don't want to end a stream, you know, being angry because I couldn't hit, you know, 500 shots in a row. So the issue that I've been having myself is not giving myself the chance to warm back up to the game. I play 5 games, get 2 kills, and I'm done.
You rotate on. Yeah, for me, I really like Modern Warfare because it has organic reach right now. Like more people are watching it, more people are consuming content of Modern Warfare. But the Blackout community is still so strong that like for me, that's predominantly what I stream. But I've found that, or I've started to in my streams, I kind of have stopped doing it for the past week, but I want to pick it back up, where I'll stream Blackout the whole time, and then the last hour I'll play Modern Warfare 2v2, the gunfight. Because that's the only thing I can play in Modern Warfare that is really fun to me. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just getting killed left and right in like BS ways. I can still drop like 40 kills in TDM or whatnot, but I get like 20 deaths, and then for me, it's not a fun experience.
Right. Yeah. My the mode I hate the most is like domination or like hard point. The most I've gotten in Modern Warfare is 64 kills, but I had 59 deaths.
Yeah, right? So it almost doesn't make sense.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it's 1.002.
Exactly. You got a lot of kills. You just solidified your 1.02 KD for a while. Exactly. Right. But yeah, 2v2 gunfight is fun. Have you kind of dove into that a little bit?
Well, if it was up to me, then that's all I would play.
Really? So you enjoy that the most?
Yeah, I'm actually going to send you a picture right now. So I wake up in the morning and get my wife out the door, and then I hop on and do a couple rounds of 2v2.
Okay.
And so this was actually from this morning. Teammate quit after the first round, and ended up going 15-5.
Dude, let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
So I think it was 15-5 with the win, 6-5. So that's my style. I loved. I think it was Modern Warfare 2, where it had the P90 and it had the 1v1.
Yeah.
And that was my bread and butter. That's what I like playing. Yeah. So when the beta came out, or the alpha came out, and it was 2v2, I was in love. And then the beta came out, and I didn't really get to play much of the beta because it was only out for a week, and I had to travel. And then the game came out, and I liked it. And then they put the OSP, where you pick up your guns, and I hated it at first. And now I'm like, okay, I wouldn't mind playing it again.
I liked it, but I found the discrepancies in it that kind of annoyed me. Like sometimes guns wouldn't be like the same, like mirrored on either side. So people would have an advantage.
Speedball was really bad for that.
Yeah, and like so like people would like have an AR when you had like a shotgun or a pistol, you know. But then the next open field is just that, it's open, and so it's not within shotgun range. So you're immediately screwed, you know.
Yeah, the biggest complaint I have with Modern Warfare, and I've been seeing it a lot lately, is certain guns like the 7.25. It's a one-shot kill. I get hit one shot and I die, but then I turn around and I put 2 shots in a guy and he turns around and he turns on me and I'm dead.
Inconsistencies.
Or like the 680, I get one shotted all the time by that, but every time I use it,
what's the 680?
What's that? 3 shots. The pump action, like when you think of like a pump action shotgun, it's that one.
All right, that has like the wood finishing on it, barrel.
Well, that's the 7.25, the double stack barrel.
Are we talking about like the black combat shotgun then? Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, dude.
It holds like 7 or 8 rounds.
I'm in love with that 2v2 though, because like if somebody has like the same gun as me, I am extremely confident that I'm better than them, and I'm gonna destroy.
Well, I get it when I play 2v2 with randoms. I get people who quit all the time because I try to do like 2 rounds to see how the other team's gonna play.
No, definitely.
Okay, are they gonna push or are they gonna be moderate? Are they gonna be very passive? Are they gonna stay in the spawn? And once I figure out how they're gonna play, I can adjust. So like the one I just sent you for the 15-5. The first couple rounds, I was like, okay, let's see how these guys are playing. Well, it's in Discord. I DM'd you in Discord. But yeah, the first 2 rounds, I was trying to see how they play. If you look at the picture, they actually split screen. And one of them was very aggressive, and the other one was very passive. So I knew, okay, this guy he's going to go hard left. Or hard his side, he's going to be very aggressive. So I'll just hang back, get that guy, and then the other guy's cakewalk. He's just sitting back in the spawn camp. So I'll just get behind him and smack him.
Okay. Yeah. 15-5. Dude, 5-6. The cash out and cash out 1. 6-2. Dude, that's a good little game there. Was that on shipment?
Yeah. Yes.
Just from the background. Which they made shipment weird, in my opinion.
It's like they turned the spawns 90 degrees.
Yeah, that, and they also made it vertical too, like where you can jump up onto the
You
the
can,
double tiered,
yeah, the two, and the one caddy corner from it. You can jump up on that
Yeah,
one
I
too.
just find it so weird because like now it's not just like linear, it's you're also it's not just horizontal. You're going linear in your aiming as well now.
Yeah, see, I try not to play, like, I'll play search, I'll play TDM, but I try not to play shipment because it is so hectic. I have a clip on my channel
Mm.
where it's titled WTF Infinity Ward or something
Yeah,
like that. I was in it, like, I just spawned in a container, shot one dude, and another dude spawned
right
in the
behind you.
container with me behind me.
Yeah, there's
And like, what, for real? I was like, fix your
yeah,
game.
there's a lot of like love and hate kind of surrounding Modern Warfare. For me, I hate it more than love it, if I'm being honest. Uh, I think that they gave the people what they wanted, but the people who have the voice don't like it. Like the content creators, it's definitely not for content creators. Like the people that can drop 40 kills and like 0 deaths. That's not going to happen in this game nearly as often as it did in like every other Call of Duty. And especially like the
Well, I feel like they're trying to cater to the people who aren't same thing with Black Ops 4, that aren't as good
oh,
at the game. They
100%.
want to make it more fun for
Yeah. They've
them.
even gone on record stating
And
that
then
they designed the game for the new person in mind.
yeah, it's just I saw so many updates. Now I didn't like when the 9 main was in Black Ops 4. That was before I
Yeah.
played. But just from in the year that I've been playing that game, it has changed so much. And this gun gets buffed, but everybody complains about this gun, so we're going to
Yeah,
nerf this
it's
gun.
the pick and choose.
But this gun is so strong because it doesn't have the
Mm-hmm.
range. It's like the Spitfire was one of them. They nerfed the crap out of the Spitfire because it was
It's shredded.
did so much
Yeah.
damage and it fired so fast. But it doesn't have that much of a range. Even with an extended barrel, it doesn't do damage very far away.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a believer of keeping things consistent for the fact that like I call it finessability. So if somebody
Mm-hmm.
shoots you, to be able to turn on them, either pop to cover or just have enough time to where you can, if you play it perfectly, still kill them. You know, and
Right.
what I found with Modern Warfare is that, which also ties into the skill gap on the game, just closed so much that like in Modern Warfare, you hit a person and then another person starts shooting at you, you are immediately dead. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can't slide to the left and
Right.
then like heal up real quick and then engage them again, or you can't just turn on them and hit them nearly as frequent as you could with like the time to kill of like that is blackout, or Black Ops 4.
Yeah. See, my big thing with Modern Warfare is the hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Like I joke about, so me and Sav play a lot, and he'll say, "Hey, you're
Shout
playing
out to
hardcore, right?"
Sad,
I'm
love
like,
you,
"No, I
bro.
don't want to." I was like, "Nah, I don't want to play hardcore. I don't want to get looked at and die."
Yeah, dude, right?
Like literally, like any gun, it's a one
Yeah,
shot kill. Any
yeah,
gun. And I'm like, where like it doesn't take skill for hardcore. Like you can literally camp behind a crate, and as soon as somebody walks by, you fire one round and they're dead.
yeah.
And to me, that's not fun. Like I'll do like hardcore search because there's still some
Strategy.
tactability in that. But when it comes to like TDM, that's not my
Yeah, no,
thing.
I'm definitely more of like in multiplayer when I was playing like COD 4, World at War. World at War was actually my first online experience, but I also had COD 4 before that, so then I played both at the same time. Because a lot of the
Okay.
community still stuck with COD 4 and didn't transition over to World at War. Just kind of like how there's always been a divide on like Activision and Treyarch, all that stuff, or Infinity Ward and Treyarch. I mean, but I don't know, man. Like for me, like I just have to have that time to kill. Like if like Black Ops 2 was my probably one of my favorite time to kills where I just had some really cool plays. you know, where I would take out a whole team in Search and Destroy, and that was the game mode that I would always play throughout all Call of Duties was Search and Destroy, because I love the fact of being the only one alive and still being able to win it for the team, and then having the street cred of like the team, you know what I mean? Like that you carried them to victory or you clutched up a crazy play. And it's just so fascinating. Or I was just so fascinated with being like that number one guy on the team every single time. And I feel like I lost that with the new Modern Warfare. You know, like you don't get it nearly as much as.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. In my opinion, I think Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 were the best Call of Duty games. Black Ops 3, I didn't really care for. Once I got into like the futuristic,
Exosuits,
you can jump off this skyscraper and not take any damage. Like to me, that's not the boost jumps, the jetpacks, all that side. I really didn't care for Advanced Warfare. I didn't care. The only reason I bought Infinity Warfare was because it had the bundle with Modern Warfare Remastered.
Yeah, dude, 100%.
And then, so I think I played maybe 2 hours of Infinite Warfare.
Okay.
Couldn't get behind it. And
but you
then
still tried it.
Black Ops 4. I tried it. I knew I wasn't going to like it, though. Like I said, the only reason I bought it was for Modern Warfare Remastered. And if I would have waited a month, it would have been released by itself.
True. Yeah.
But then, like, even Black Ops 4, I don't like the multiplayer in it. But what drew me to Black Ops 4 was Blackout.
100%. That's the main reason I loved it.
I strongly feel that
and when thing. I know where it's going. When there's no if in this, we're not allowed to if anything.
Yeah. When Modern Warfare drops a battle royale, I don't think I'll ever go back to Blackout.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
The article that I've read, which has all the
200 player,
the different
survival map,
the 200 players, your teammates can carry you to the ambulance. The ambulance takes you to the gulag,
and then you do a 1v1.
You can 1v1. Yeah, like that. To me, that is a sick twist.
Yeah.
Like, oh, not only did you die, now you have to kill this person to either get back in the game or
completely die. Yeah.
Nah. Right, and that's to me, like me being a 1v1, 2v2 person. I'm hype on that.
And it's like a mini game.
I'm so ready for it to come out.
It's a mini game inside of the game, which is just so like gameception, you know?
Right. Well, and that's one of the big complaints I have with Black Ops 4 too, because I suck at the game. I normally die off the rip, and I spend 30 minutes spectating other people.
It is, yeah. Dude, we gotta play sometime, and like I'll run with you, and like, who was it? Like Smush, Scottish. Or Scott, I mean, and even like Miss G, they've all kind of gotten better just by like playing with somebody that is better. You know what I mean? Like that's how I got better personally when I was playing Call of Duty, and I still love to play with people that are better than me because it makes me like closer to their level, you know, and it ups my gameplay.
Right.
So maybe.
Right. Like I play with my brother, or I played with my brother. He's stationed in Japan, so he's 14 hours ahead of me. But I when I first got Black Ops 4, I was like, yeah, let me try Blackout. And I was like, man, screw that.
It wasn't about it.
I don't like it. And I would only play multiplayer. Then my brother and my cousin were like, hey, let's go play Blackout. And I got hooked. And I was like, man, I really like it at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me play. And then I met everybody in all these communities, and I've played with them. And my game skills grew. Yeah. And then I went to play with my brother again, and I'm like, dude, like, I can't believe I used to be that bad. Like, I used to be that bad.
Yeah.
And now his PlayStation is basically Minecraft because he has a 6-year-old son, and that's all he wants to play is Minecraft. So every time I see him on, I'm like, he's playing Minecraft. I can't play.
Right. No, for sure. Have you played Minecraft though?
I have not.
Hey. I saw that look, first of all. The judgment was not appreciated.
There's no judgment. I want to try it, but I don't want to buy it just to find out that I wasted
Dude,
my
you
money.
actually well, if you're a creative person, so this is what I tell anybody. Like I haven't played it in a while, but I loved when I played it on stream like every Friday, I believed. And if you're a creative individual and you want to like express your creativity, Minecraft is the best thing to possibly do because you can build whatever you
Okay.
want. You know, not only that, but like I also like creating and building things, you know, like how I was kind of talking about building a community or kind of like this stream and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that. Like you get to build like your own city and you can make it as big as you want. Like you can make your house. Like I made my childhood house as like my first ever house in Minecraft, you know what I mean? So you can get like creative with it and have some fun. I even built like a bat cave that went into my house and there's like secret passageways and like I felt super cool. But then I also felt like I was like 7 years old. You know what I mean? Like with my like imagination, like going crazy. So
Yeah, the one thing I'll give to Minecraft is the
yeah,
viewability. Like, you go to Twitch, how many people are constantly watching
they
Minecraft?
invest in it because they see it like they are also a part of like the build of it. You know, of like your city.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah, and then also the other thing I'll give it too is like it's not a fast paced game where I have to focus on the game
exactly.
or
You
you
can
know
talk and
you can
communicate.
interact with chat more.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I completely agree. And there's a girl named Alex that watches my stream. I don't know if you've talked to her a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Alex Envy.
Alex Envy.
Yeah, I played with her. I played with
Yeah,
her the
yeah,
other
yeah.
night.
Dude, I love that. That's what the community is all
Yeah,
about.
it was me,
Yeah.
Fuzzy, Alex, and then a couple of Alex's people. And we were running
Dude, that makes
SMD.
me so happy to hear. Like, no joke. That like fills me with warmth. But yeah, she is a Minecraft streamer actually. Like, she streams Minecraft from her PlayStation, and that's how she found my channel. Was when I was streaming Minecraft a little bit. It was funny. I started streaming Minecraft because like somebody suggested it, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I used to play it when like it was an alpha. You know, like way back in the day before like it was even big on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube or anything like that. I was in Puerto Rico. I'm half Puerto Rican, so there wasn't much to do over there. Like I had a really crappy laptop, got like 10 frames per second, but I'd still like create my house, you know, that I wanted or whatnot, and
Mm-hmm.
have some fun with it. Um, but then I got back into it, man, and she found me through that, and like she's been a supporter of my stream all the time now, and she doesn't even really play Blackout, you know, she's just there more for the community, which is fascinating. But bro, now Alex is gonna watch this, and now she's gonna hound you until you get Minecraft. I hope you know. She's hounded me for like
Hey,
3 weeks
look,
straight to get back on it. She knows that you haven't played it now. It's game over for you, bro. I'm sorry. It's not me. She's doing it, but like you're gonna play Minecraft.
hey, I'll just pull a Fuzzy and accidentally time her out.
Oh, what was that all about? I heard about that a little bit.
Yeah, we were playing. We were playing, and Fuzzy just reached over, and he was like, "What does this do?" And he clicked it, and it timed her out for like 10 minutes. He's like, "How do I untime you out?"
Fuzzy's a funny dude. Fuzzy's a funny dude.
He is, man. He is. He's not too far from me either. Him and Giggles are pretty
Yeah.
close. Yeah, Giggles I think is like 8 hours.
Okay.
And Fuzzy's about the
Okay,
same.
there you go. And where do you live?
I live in
Oh
Virginia.
yeah, what part of Virginia though?
So if you were to look at a map, it's just above Virginia Beach,
Okay.
right on the ocean.
Isn't Virginia Beach where like the SEALs train? Or
Some of them,
right? And
some
some
of
of them
them.
are on like the West Coast.
So the area that I'm in is the largest military involvement in the
Yeah.
nation.
Okay.
Around me, like up to DC. DC's only like 2.5, 3 hours
But
away.
when you think of Virginia Beach, you think of military, or at least I do.
Yeah, we'll not get into what I think of
okay.
it.
Or you
No,
can
it's
like
just
this is the platform, bro. This is just us having a conversation.
it's not my favorite. It's a very touristy
Okay.
area, and everything is just so expensive over there, and it's everybody hypes it up. Like the ocean front is very nice, but then once you start getting away from it, it goes downhill really fast.
Okay.
And,
Like a couple miles out
the
of
area
Virginia
where we live,
Beach, you can kind of see the differences.
not even a couple miles. You're like 10 blocks from the beach, and you're getting into some shady
Really?
parts.
Okay.
Yeah, but like that's how the whole area is here. Like like where I live, the city I live in is Hampton, and you got Northampton, which is where I live, which is decent, but then you go to like some of the not so good places, and like Hampton and Newport News, they border each other, and the only way you know that you transferred into Newport News is when the street signs turn from blue to green, and we call it the numbered streets. It's all like 72nd, 74th, and like all those. You don't go there.
Oh, okay.
And my brother, my wife's sister, and her husband live down there, and he works in the shipyard, which is smack in the middle of the numbered streets. And he was no joke. He was talking about how he was leaving for work the other day, and he was at a stop sign, and a prostitute came up and was like, "Hey, $20, and we can go have some fun." And I'm like, "Dude, hey, get off my car!"
Yeah, right? I feel like I'd have to like decontaminate my car.
Right, and he runs like a detailing business on the side. He's like, I couldn't wait to get off work and get home. He's like, I don't care if it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm washing my car.
Yeah.
But then, like right around the corner from them, they have somebody who just dropped off like a trailer, like a little camper trailer, and it's like a meth lab.
Well, welcome to Virginia.
Just cooking and like, yeah, basically, yeah. But then you go 5-6 roads over, and there's nothing wrong. Like,
yeah, it's
the biggest complaint I have on my neighborhood is the road I live on is a main road, and people think it's a racetrack. So speed limit is 25, and we get people constantly doing 50.
Okay. I gotcha.
But basically the same city.
Yeah, no, it really, just a couple blocks over.
But
like the
and
the
it's
train tracks, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like the shipyard is so close that when the sirens go off for like lunch, like the horn, I can hear them.
Really? Okay.
And and it's and that's smack in like the worst part of town.
Yeah, no, I lived in Puerto Rico for a year, not a year, about 8 months, and from when I was 18 to like 19, around that age, and when I moved out there, I moved into like this studio apartment that was in the middle of Rio Piedras, which is the ghetto of Puerto Rico, and I even got into like some cartel like trouble being out there just because of where you're at. I got mugged one day on my like daily run. I ended up accidentally breaking the guy's leg, and then his cousin was a high-ranking officer in the cartel, and the next thing you know, they like put out a hit on me. You know what I mean? And it was intense, dude. Like I had to like escape, like get out of Puerto Rico because they were actively looking for me. But it just goes to show you, like, my family in Puerto Rico, like my uncle and aunt, they're very successful, like, businessmen in Puerto Rico. So they have like a multi-million-dollar company, and where they live, like, they lived in a mansion that was like $10 million that they built from the ground up. It was like his like dream like house, And then Rio Piedras was literally a 10-minute drive, and you take a nice car there, you're gonna get shot. It's just crazy how like that's kind of everywhere. Just as long as you know where those like borders are. It seems like Virginia's kind of like that, and it's like scattered throughout everywhere. But
it's just like we have where I live. They call it the Seven Cities. So there's like Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Suffolk, Portsmouth, Chesapeake, Hampton, Newport News. And each city has their bad part, but each city has their not so bad part.
Like their luxury apartments.
Yeah, so Suffolk is actually where like Michael Vick has a house for his mom in Suffolk.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that where he does the dog fights or where he doesn't do the dog fights? Okay. Sorry, I had to. Too soon.
Nah, it's been a few years. But yeah, it's like in that section of the town, like where that house is, it's all $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 houses, and it's on the water. But on the other side of the water, it's $100,000 houses, $75,000 houses.
Yeah, like low, like it's just poverty leveling, like neighborhoods.
Right, and like I know cost of living has changed over time, but when I was in Arizona, gas was $4 a gallon. Here, where early like 2011. And it was also on base. But here, like now, gas is $2.20 a gallon.
Really? Yeah,
Like,
it's
yeah.
creeped out. Like, so there's ebbs and flows of the oil, obviously.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
But like right now, it's some places you can find it for like $2.99. But like it also depends on like the town that you're in. So like I live in Scottsdale now, which is more like bougier, if you will. I call it like the
Yeah, you got that fancy golf course
yeah,
there.
right, exactly. um, yeah, it's like 320 over here, but then you like I work in Chandler and I go there like every single day during the week and then also on Saturday, and it's like 298 there, you know. So it flows a little bit, but like it got down to like 260 I think like earlier in like 2019, but then it's gone up to like 340, so it about $1 give or take. But 250 like
Yeah,
consistently, that'd be nice, bro.
yeah. I mean, I paid. I was just up in Philadelphia, and once we hit Virginia, we filled up again. And I think I paid like $2.29.
Born and raised on the playgrounds where you spent most of your days. I had to. I had to. I had to.
But when me and my wife first moved in together, at our apartment, there was a gas station right across the street, and we hit like $1.80.
Really?
This was like
That's
2014.
gotta. Oh, dude, I wish. Like right now, I'm feeling it.
And then it skyrocketed up to like 320, right around there, and then it's
Drops down.
slowly going down. We're holding right around 2 to 250
Okay. That's still not that bad.
But then we also do like the rewards programs, like at the grocery store.
So you get like 10 cents off per gallon.
Yeah, so like Safeway would have like a gas station. Like, oh, if you buy gift cards, you earn four times fuel points, and so every 100 fuel points is 10 cents off a gallon. So we just filled up the other day her car for like $1.90 a gallon, something like that, because we saved like 40 cents a gallon.
That's
all the gift cards we bought.
Right? Yeah, it makes sense. And that's their strategy all along, you know, is to get you to do that.
Oh yeah.
Because of the holidays. But yeah, man, I'm feeling it right now. Like I work 22 miles away from where I live now.
Oh man.
And I have work at 6 p.m. So
you got to leave at like 4 to hit that rush hour traffic.
Exactly. So I'm driving anywhere between an hour to an hour 15 every single day, going there, and then coming home. It's a walk in the park. You know what I mean? But I just I put on podcasts.
Yeah, you might want to trade with me.
Are you what, like a mile away from where you live or where you work?
So I got to be at work at 7:30. I leave my house at 7:10 and have enough time to drop the kid off at the babysitter and still get to work.
I hate you. The house that I used to live in before I moved over here to kind of like help my mom is it was no joke an 8-minute drive.
Yeah, mine, like in the summertime when I don't have to stop for school buses or school zones or anything, and I hit all the green lights, I can get to work in 4 minutes.
Insane, man. That is.
It's 2.4 miles away from my house.
It's so refreshing because if you think about it, like how much time if you drive an hour, or let's just say like my commute is an hour and a half, like round trip. You know, an hour down and then like 30 minutes coming back home. Like you times that by like 7, you're looking at what is that? Like 11 hours. 11 hours a week, that's practically a whole nother shift and then some, you know, shift in 3.5 hours that.
Right, and you don't get paid for it.
Exactly. In fact, you're just getting docked because you're paying for gas, you know? So that's how I view it. I've calculated it out. Like I have a Toyota Camry, like hybrid, so I get good gas mileage. But dude, I feel like I'm filling that thing up like every week. It's rough.
Yeah, I drive my wife's car, her old one. I blew the engine of my car and bought a car for us to share, a nice car for us to share. And I do a lot of travel for work, and we get paid mileage if we take our cars. And so I was like, hey, I'm taking the car to DC. We're going to make, $300 on mileage. And finished the job. I was coming home. I was pulling into a gas station and fucking got T-boned.
Oh.
One payment on the car.
Oh.
We had just made the payment on the car that morning. And the first payment, and so it was totaled. Got our payout. Got like $3,000 from insurance after we paid off the car. And she's like, "What? So what car am I getting?" And I was like, "Get whatever car you want."
Right. Whatever a 3,000 down payment
And
will get
so,
us. Right.
yeah. So I ended up buying her the car that she
Okay.
wanted,
Nice, man.
and now that's her car. So I got her first car. Her dad gave it. He signed the title over when she graduated
Okay.
college. It's a '05 Dodge, and May we lost it. It was running like crap. The battery light was on and everything, and took it to a mechanic shop. It took them 5 months to figure out the cats were clogged, and I had a bad ground on the alternator. So 5 months and probably close to $2,000 we put into it for parts
what could have been a
and
quick fix?
everything. And literally, once they found out what was wrong, they ran into ground wire and they scraped the cat. So like 2 days. 2 days is all it took.
Oh no.
But they did all this work, and now I don't have cats, so my O2 sensors aren't reading right, so it's burning more fuel. I used to go a month on a tank of gas because I just drive my car to and from work, and that's it. 6 miles a day, and so that's it. I would go a month. Now it's like, with it being wintertime and I have to warm the car up so my daughter's not freezing in the car, I get maybe a week and a half.
Really? Dang, man.
Just because just from the fuel economy, from not having everything reading right.
Isn't that crazy how much of a difference that can make? Like for me, I average like 32 miles per gallon or like 30 miles to the gallon, but I'm also driving like 22 miles or whatever it is to work every single day there and back, so like 44 total. Like, and you're doing 6 in one day. That's that.
Yeah. It's like my wife's car. She got a Hyundai Tucson, the little small SUV, and we just took that up to Pennsylvania. We got all the way up there on tank of gas. Really? Yeah, we I think we get like 39. It's it's an SUV, but it has a 4-cylinder, so we get like, I think it's like 39 to 43, depending on if we're going through hills or not. We filled up in Pennsylvania. We drove all the way home on a tank.
Wow.
It's like 360 miles.
I really want to like live on the East Coast at least some point, because I feel like the traveling there, you can get to different states so much quicker than over here on the West Coast.
It's like, so we drove to Pennsylvania, and we go from Virginia through Maryland through Delaware into Pennsylvania, and it is no joke. 2.5 hours. It's like a 5-hour drive to get to, or 6-hour drive to get to where we were going. It's like 2.5 to 3 hours just to get out of Virginia, because we are 20 miles from the southern border.
You have to go all the way up.
Like, it just takes forever. Everything here is tunnels.
Okay.
So if there's an accident in the tunnel, they got to shut the tunnel down and clear it out. So it takes forever.
I know that.
But it's no joke. We're like maybe 30 miles from the southern border, and so I have to go south to go up the eastern shore, and then it's all the way up to the state of Virginia, and it's literally 2.5 to 3 hours. Once we get out of Virginia, we're in Maryland for a hot second, and then we're in Delaware, and then we're in Pennsylvania. It's 3 states in 2.5 hours, where it's 2.5 hours to get out of one.
Yeah, no, for us, like, to get to California, which is like just next door, it's a 6-hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
basically you just hit the corner of Nevada.
Exactly, right. It is a 6-hour drive. I mean, you can get to like Vegas, I think, in like 4 or whatnot, but which like for us isn't that bad. It's more economical to drive rather than to fly, because then you don't have to get an Uber or anything like that as well.
Right, you don't have to get a rental car.
Exactly. So it's nice, and like Disneyland and like Universal Studios and things like that are really big. I personally love all that.
And is that 6 hours to get to LA, or is that to San Diego?
I believe. I believe San Diego is like 6.
You just hop on 8 and just run it all the way out.
I'm horrible. just put it in like iMaps or like Google Maps, and I'm good.
Yeah, when I was in Tucson, me and a bunch of buddies took a trip out to San Diego. It was like an 8-hour drive, but you just take 10 to 8 and just run all the way out until it stops.
There you go. Exactly.
And we actually hitting on. I was watching you and Cobra's video earlier when I was at work, and he was telling how his brother was abducted.
Right.
And at the time, I was in the military. Right, 1,000 pesos, please. But like at the time, I was active duty, and we couldn't go to Tijuana. We couldn't go to Nogales. We couldn't go anywhere. And we get to San Diego, and my buddy who arranged all this was like, "All right, we got so and so is going to let us stay in their room." And we get there, and the person's like, "Yo, I thought it was just you, not 6 people."
Yeah.
So I'll let you stay tonight, but that's it. And so like we're like driving around all of San Diego Memorial Day trying to find a hotel, and we ended up like 2 miles from Tijuana.
Oh man, that's rough.
And like we're sitting there, and I'm like, "Yo, like I don't want to go outside. Like I want to sleep, sleep on the floor, and let's get in the car and let's go." Dude. And I mean, it was so like I didn't realize how close we were, but it was so sketch. Yeah. Like gunshots every 30 minutes, you hear gunshots going off.
It's a totally different world, Like we're so sheltered being in America, specifically certain parts of America, because there's certain parts where you will hear gunshots like every hour. So I'm not trying to say like America's like all that and bag of potato chips, but yeah, no, I definitely feel for the majority of the U.S. we have it so privileged that we can't even fathom what it's like for those people every day, that it's just a way of life that you hear gunshots like every hour or every 30 minutes. It's fascinating to me just how it can be. Yeah. Well, man, I do actually end up I'm gonna have to go. I gotta get in my car and drive for an hour to work, but well,
you have fun with that. I'm gonna go cook these pork chops for the family.
Dude, I'm jealous. But dude,
yeah, I'll have to send you a picture of it.
Please, I actually have a channel on my Discord it's called Let's Feast. So post it in there, bro.
I got one in mind too. I call it Grubhub.
I love it, bro. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on. This was a great conversation. I feel like I got to know you a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm still on, I don't know what time you're gonna get off work. But if I'm still on, just pop in. I normally do a later stream Friday and super late stream Saturday. I hop on tonight, normally in about 45 minutes, but I gotta go.
Sweet, yeah, no worries.
And I play to like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning my time, so midnight for you. And then tomorrow I'll be on like 8, and I'll run until like 4 a.m.
Yeah, so I'll probably like lurk while I'm working on some videos or whatnot, 100%. But dude, thank you so much for coming on. And, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, now just real quick. Yeah. Tomorrow, I'm gonna log into my wife's account and do some trolling on Blackout.
Okay, let's see it, bro.
So that'll be a fun one to watch. She's literally has 2 games played, level 1, 2 kills. That's it. So it's perfect.
Fun. That'll be a lot of fun. For anybody who is listening up until this point, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to the podcast. The community that is backing this podcast is absolutely amazing. Having content creators of all different sizes on has been so much fun, and got to kind of get a little bit of an understanding of who they are outside of gaming is so insightful, and I feel like it brings us all closer together. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Slevtek's Roundtable. I will see you guys in the next one, and I hope you guys all have an amazing day. Have a good one.